in this day and age than they did when we were younger. I have to agree with you. I can remember, I feel like my children and their friends and other kids I know that are around feel like they have a voice or that their opinion matters more than I ever thought mine did.
Right. That's exactly right. Yes. And there's a lot of very proactive young people out there, which I'm always particularly proud of, seeing that happen. So, there's that's that huge contrast, right? There's always a contrast,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
What other area of law interests you? And why? I mean, are there other areas that perhaps you might, dabble in at some point?
I doubt that I would ever do anything else because I'm, looking forward to retiring. However, I did.
But you look so
love,
young.
Oh, that's kind of you. I loved tax law when I was in law schools because it's like a giant puzzle, and it was really about the theory behind the different different sections of the tax code, and that was super interesting to me. So I'm thinking maybe estates and trusts or taxes because it's like a giant puzzle. I might have pursued that.
Yeah. Well, you have just proven to everybody how brilliant you are, by the way. She's really good with numbers.
No, my husband would totally disagree. That is not true at all, but it is like a puzzle.
Yeah, that's awesome. So if you had not become a lawyer, okay, and I think you did touch a little bit on this, what career path might you have followed? And I know you kind of touched on that. Could you sort of expand on that a little bit more for us?
I have a psychology degree from college, so I might have, I contemplated going to medical school. My college roommate is a doctor, so there was definitely some familial pressure to pursue that, but it wasn't my passion. So I might have gone to graduate school and become a psychologist. I think that's something that still interests me, that I would have loved to have done, and especially forensic psychology and how the intersection of the law and psychology, I think, is interesting.
Yeah, you would have been a great forensic psychologist. Great. I can tell you that right now. I have two friends who are, and you would have been brilliant at it. Brilliant. Now, I know you have such a stressful career, and you are so calm and so well grounded, right? Very well grounded. How do you prepare yourself for work each day? And what are some of the things you do sort of on a daily basis to balance your life? Because Yin Yoga lifestyle is about balance.
I exercise every day, or I try to. If I don't do something, I get on the treadmill, or I go for a long walk, or go to the gym. I feel like my day is not complete, or that it is out of balance. So I really try to exercise every day. Obviously, I spend a great deal of time with my dogs.
Yes, they're so sweet too.
Oh, Lord. So that I make a ton of lists. I find preparation really helps you sort of get a handle on things for the next day. So I have a million lists going at all the time, just things so I don't forget to do them for work, or errands I have to do for the family or for the household. I keep a lot of lists. I like a good list.
I have to remember that.
Oh,
yeah. Lists are good. Lists are very good. They are, they keep us on track. And
exactly.
Right? They do keep us on track. And it's one of the first things they teach you, isn't it? When you do some kind of a course that teaches you how to manage your day, the first thing they do is make a priority list, right?
That's exactly right. And so that does help, because I can get off track pretty easily. So
yeah. Do your kids make lists?
My older son and my daughter do. Yes, my other son not so much.
He's the rebel. He's the rebel. Are they following in your footsteps?
Interestingly, and perhaps not out of passion, but I believe our older son looks like he's leaning toward law school, and my
Right.
daughter is majoring in psychology in college. So I think that she genuinely, she's gifted at it. She's got she's intuitive about it, and I think she's really good at it. So she is following in some regard.
And how do you feel about that? Does that make you happy, or do you want them to do something totally different?
I want them to be happy, and I want them to pursue whatever they're passionate about, because as I told my older son, because he's also very interested in forensic anthropology. He's taken a bunch of classes with one professor who's really sparked a sort of a passion in him about that in college. And I keep telling him, look, you'll be able to support yourself if you're passionate about what you're doing. So whatever makes them happy, that's, we're on board for it. So
yeah. Do you have a favorite yoga posture?
I've thought a lot about this since you asked me to be a guest on your show, and I would say
excited.
And I couldn't probably describe it only for your twisting. I feel like twisting and holding those postures really helps loosen everything up.
Yeah, and twisting is very good for stress as well.
It feels like it's good for stress. I very much enjoy that.
Yeah. Are you? Do you think that you are do you carry your stress well?
No. No, not at all.
It's so
Not at
funny
all.
because actually, if our listeners, and we are worldwide here, if you ever met Kristen, you would never know that. You are you come across being unbelievably centered and so well grounded, as I said that before. So twisting, you love twisting. Is there anything else that you love in yoga?
I love all the deep being. I love the meditation. I love holding the poses, so you really get a good, stretch or marinate in it, as you say.
Yes.
Really gets into the joints and loosens everything up. So, and I think some of that balance just comes with age. There's a lot that I've seen that isn't worth getting stressed about anymore. You just, it
Yeah.
all works out eventually. And I hopefully can maintain when it's important to get stressed and when it's not. So,
and of course, you can do your yoga anytime. You can do it even when you're at the office. You can do your yoga to release your stress.
Exactly.
Have you done yoga before? I know to me, you're fairly new to yoga, but had you done yoga before?
Intermittently. I'll tell you, interestingly, I grew up outside Northern Virginia, and in the, 70s and 80s, we only had you had three major network TV stations and two local stations. Well, one of them was the public access station or the public TV station. And they had a thing called Lilius Yoga on, and I've looked it up, and you can still see her on YouTube.
I remember her.
Oh, you do? Okay, well, I used to watch that, and this should be a window into me. At 13, I was already having trouble sleeping because I was stressed about school. So I used to watch that, and she had a whole thing where she would talk to you about how to use yoga to get yourself to go to sleep. And for the entire rest of my life, I have used that. If I can't sleep, I still use that, and that was from when I was 12 or 13. So I'd say that really sparked my interest in it, and that was long before it was as popular as it has become.
Mm-hmm.
Where people in Western cultures started to realize the benefit of Eastern practices. So I've always been a fan, just not necessarily an active participant.
Here's another question for you. I wondered, is there yoga being taught in any of the facilities for the I don't know.
I don't
for
know
people
either.
Who
That's
are
interesting. At the facility that I supervise, I would say that we have they have every kind of activity under the sun. They have many different religions are practiced. There's all kinds of clubs and groups and healthy leisure activities that they promote. So there's anything that you are interested in pursuing, they usually do. I'm sure that they do, but I don't know for a fact, and I'm going to find that out.
There
today.
you go. You can you can head that up. That's your idea.
Yeah, exactly. To institute yoga, it might help them a lot.
Yeah. It really is, really is. Kristen, I have to say thank you so much for being here. I know how busy you are, and it's been an absolute pleasure having you on. And if you would like more information about today's topic, you can email Kristin Kanner at KristinKanner@myflfamilies.com. Kristin Kanner at myfloridafamilies.com. And many thanks again for being here, Kristen, on Yin Yoga Lifestyle.
Of course, Colette. Thank you so much for having me.
And I look forward to seeing you in class.
Me too.
Okay. Thanks. Thanks so much, Kristen. And please don't forget to check us out at yinyogalifestyle.com, adding enlightenment, calm, balance, and creativity to your everyday life. Thank you for joining Yin Yoga Lifestyle. I am your host, Colette Darville. Join us next time to continue our journey of balancing into a state of perfect harmony. Until then, this is Colette Darville, reminding you to inhale, sow, and exhale, hum.